Good morning, everybody. My name's Lenny Riley, and I'm the Instructional Technology Specialist with Norco College. Thank you for attending this webinar on VDI, which is our new virtual desktop infrastructure that we'll be using for you to be able to work remotely. Today's webinar is about working remotely, and for any of you who may have used VPN in the past, this will help answer the question why we're transitioning from VPN to VDI. With me on this webinar is Susanna Ma, the Director of Infrastructure and Systems at the district, and Victor Bolanos, who is the Help Desk Support Technician at the district. We're going to talk about the different types of remote access that are available and why we're transitioning to VDI from VPN. Then we're going to have some demonstrations. We're going to show you how to access VDI, how to access your internal applications, how to access your file shares and Microsoft OneDrive, how to create, save, and attach files within VDI, how to print to PDF. Most of you won't have a printer available, and in VDI we won't have a printer available, so you'll be printing to PDF. How to properly shut down VDI and when not to use VDI. Then we'll be talking about upcoming improvements to the VDI and how and from whom should I get support. I know a lot of you will have questions because this is new to you, so I ask that you ask your questions in the chat, and those questions will be answered at the end of the demonstrations. So first off, the different types of remote access. This might be your first time using some type of remote access, but in the past we had used what was called VPN, which stands for Virtual Private Network, and that allows you to connect to our network internally with the district-owned devices that you may have had, like a district assigned laptop. Now VDI, which stands for Virtual Desktop Infrastructure, allows you to do the same thing. It allows you to connect to your resources using a secured virtual computer, and it would be accessed through a web browser. So you'll be able to have almost like a computer within your computer, and we'll demonstrate that. The reason we're moving from VPN to VDI is VDI is more secure than VPN, and VDI does not require district-owned equipment. From any web browser on any computer, you'll be able to log into VDI. So now we're going to go over the demonstrations, and I'm going to give the webinar over to Victor Bolanos to do those demonstrations.
Thank you, Lenny. Good morning, everyone. My name is Victor, and I'm going to be going through the demonstrations for the VDI. Let me minimize this. Okay, so how do I access my VDI? You would actually go, and first of all, we'll go into the browser. We're going to open up a browser. In this example, I'm going to use Google Chrome. All right, once Google Chrome has opened, our recommendation is to go into either incognito or private window, depending on your browser. For Google Chrome, it's going to be called incognito mode. To do this, you're going to go to the very top right-hand corner to the tricolon, click on there, and you'll get a menu. From the menu, you're going to go into new incognito window. A separate window will open. and you'll know that you're incognito depending on the browser. On Google Chrome, it'll say you've gone into incognito, and what this does is it prevents browsing history from being stored, such as cache or cookies. Now we're going to go to the VDI. We're going to access the VDI by going to the website remote.rccd.edu. Now you're going to get the VMware Horizon page. We're going to go into VMware Horizon HTML access and click on that. It's going to ask you for your username and password. These will be your district credentials. Click on Login. Now you're going to be at the launch page, and you're going to see the RCCD icon. Click it to launch the virtual desktop. Give it a couple seconds while it loads. Okay. So now I'm on the VDI. The reason I know I'm on the VDI is I'll see the tab right here on the very top right-hand corner, VMware Horizon. You'll also get a tab on the left-hand corner in the middle of the screen. And that would also indicate that you're in the VDI, which indicates what is running. Click on the tab to minimize that again. All right, and also another way you can tell you're on the VDI is this is your VDI, the screen right here, the virtual computer within our network. That's what it is. And this is one computer, virtual computer. This is on the left-hand side. This is your own computer. So again, the virtual computer, your own computer, two separate. So the next component is how to access internal applications such as Colleague, Galaxy, and file shares. There are shortcuts already available on your desktop for it. There is the Colleague data tail, there is the Galaxy, and there is the file shares. These are all internal applications that can only be accessed through the VDI. Now we're going to go into how to access file shares and OneDrive. Well, again, I'm going to open up the file share folder. These are your respective server names, departmental, college folders, two different shortcuts that are available within as well. And you can access your OneDrive just by clicking on here. Your OneDrive will actually appear. Okay, let me actually close this back up and go back to the file shares.
Can you explain
now what I'm going to do
is, Victor?
Yes. What was that? I'm sorry.
Can you explain what OneDrive is?
Sure. So OneDrive is it's basically a cloud storage. So think about it as a way to store and transfer files online, USB as an external drive. And actually the district provides you a 1 terabyte capacity of cloud storage via your district account. So again, it's accessible right here on the folder. We're going to move into how to create, save, and attach files to OneDrive and to our file shares. Let me close this up. I'm going to open a Word document. Here for the purpose, I'm just going to save it. Very top left-hand corner. I'm going to click on the disk, save, then I'm going to go to Browse. Now you're actually right here in your file shares. Again, you're able to save it onto the OneDrive. So first I'm going to demonstrate how to save it into the OneDrive. I'm just going to click on that folder and I'm going to call it VDI demonstration. Click on save. and there you go. The title has been saved. To verify, for this example, I'll just close it. Go to my file shares folder, go to my OneDrive, and there it is, VDI demonstration. It's been saved to your OneDrive. Now, I'm actually going to open up a PowerPoint and save it to a different file, to the file shares. Again, I'm going to go to the very top left-hand corner, the disk is, click on it to save, go to Browse, and then I'm going to locate my file share. For myself, it's going to be under Wendy Information Technology. I'm going to browse for it. And I have a folder created for this purpose called Tests. And for this, I will call it VDI demonstration as well. Click on Save. Okay, has been saved. Again, to verify. Close this, open up my file shares, locate the file, which for me again was Wendy Information Technology, my test folder, and there it is, VDI demonstration. This is an actual document and you can actually work on this as well. And FYI, you can also right click, go to new, and create, for example, another PowerPoint or Word document within your file share. You can also do this within the OneDrive. You can right click, go to new, and then create another file, such as an Excel. VDI test. There you go. Okay, now one of the questions is always in regards to file shares. File shares are for your specific users that are part of that file share, that group. For example, if I'm trying to access another file share that I don't have permissions, again, I had it for information technology, but if I want to go to gateway, you'll get an error. So you don't have to worry about other people accessing your file shares if they do not belong to your group as a users. And same with OneDrive. OneDrive is your own. It is your own specific cloud storage, so no one else has access to that. All right, now is how to attach files from OneDrive or from file shares to your email. For this, I'm going to open up my email and I'm going to go to the go.rccd.edu. If you never logged in before, there are instructions right here. I would advise to read them. I already logged in the past, so I'm just going to put in my college or district credentials. Click on login. It's going to ask you if you want to save. No, thank you, never. And now I'm going to go down to on the single sign-on portal. I'm going to click my Outlook mail. And get a message, stay signed in. Do this to reduce the number of times you are asked to sign in. You click on no, thank you, no. All right, I'm going to attach a file to your email via the cloud storage or the OneDrive. I'm going to click on new message. And I'm actually going to, just for this purpose, I'm going to maximize the screen so I can see the attached files. So it's a little paperclip in the bottom. You're going to click on it, and then you're going to go to browse this location. I'm going to click the up arrow to go back to the desktop. And right here, you're able to view your file shares. Shortcut. And I'm going to attach first to OneDrive. So I'm going to go to my OneDrive folder. Then I'm going to attach VDI demonstration. Click on that. And then I'm going to click on open. It has been attached. Now I'm going to attach a file from my file shares. Same process. Click on the paper-click to attach. Go to browse this computer. And I'm going to click on the up arrow to take me back to the desktop. Now that I'm on the desktop, click on file shares. I'm going to locate my file share path. Again, Wendy for myself, information technology. And it'll be under my test folder. I'm going to attach the VDI demonstration. I'm going to click on it. Click on open. So now I have one for my OneDrive and an example from my file share. I'm going to be sending it in this example to Susanna Ma. So I'm going to look her up, Ma. And I'm just going to call this VDI demonstration. Click on send. If you want to add something to the body, obviously you can. I'm just going to click send. And now I can verify by going to my sent items. And there it is, VDI demonstration has both the files on there. Close this window for my mail. And I'm going to log off from a single sign-on portal. All right. Now, how to print to PDF. I'm going to open up one of the files, one of the documents that I have saved. I'm going to go to my OneDrive. And I'm going to open up the VDI demonstration. Once the file has been opened, you want to go to File. You want to go to Print. And now the default is Microsoft Print to PDF. You just click on Print. It would ask you where you want to save it. So I'm going to go back to my file shares on my desktop, locate my OneDrive. I'm going to call it VDI demonstration PDF. Click on save. And close this out. There it is, VDI demonstration PDF. You can also print to PDF within the browser. So for example, I could go open up my colleague data tell. And then I'm going to hit on the tricolon, the top right-hand corner. And then on the menu, there'll be the option to print. There it is. Click on print. And this actually defaulted to my file share, my location. Again, I'm just going to call it VDI demonstration PDF. I can close the browser, go into my file shares, technology, test, and there it is as well. So now, probably one of the most important components of this demonstration is going to be how to shut down properly within the VDI. Again, it's a reminder right here. When done, please click the Windows and shut down to free up limited resources. We want to be mindful of other people. And I do have one folder open. I'm just going to close that. Okay, so two separate screens. We have the VDI, the virtual computer, and we have your own computer. We have one start menu for the VDI. We have a separate start menu, which is your actual computer. Make sure you're closing the correct one. So again, I'm going to go to my VDI, start menu, the window, click on that, click on the power button, and then go to shutdown. Gives you a message, you have been disconnected. Click on close, and just for a good practice, click on the menu and open up the menu. And I'm going to go down to where it says log out. Are you sure you want to log out? Yes. Click on OK. And it's going to take you back to the VMware Horizon, the main page. Now for this, I'm going to turn it over back to Susanna Ma, and she's going to discuss when not to use VDI. Susanna?
Thank you, Victor. So let me, for just practicing, let me show you how to open it with Firefox. So if you open up Firefox, you want to go to New Private Window, go to remote.rccd.edu, open up the Horizon HTML client, sign in as myself. Open up the RCCD VDI instance, and it'll take a few seconds to log me in. So good question. When should you not use the VDI? Right? Think of it as you having two computers, access to two computers within the same screen. So again, this is the VDI. We know that because there's a VMware Horizon on the tab, and then there's also this side tab on the VDI. And this is my regular computer on this side over here. You will really only use the VDI for things that you can't access when you're off premises. So generally when you're checking emails, you can do that without being on premises, right? Either through your mobile device, you can check it through any browser. That resource is accessible from the outside anywhere. A lot of you are faculty. Canvas is accessible without the VDI, that's public facing. Also, WebAdvisor is also public facing. So you don't need to use the VDIs for things that you can regularly access off premises. Also very important, anything audio and video, I would advise not to use that within the VDI. I know we're all doing a lot of web conferences and Zoom meetings. That you can do outside of the VDI. So think of the VDI, let's say you need to access colleague in here. You need to, access your file shares here within the VDI. Right? You can work on it here, but when you actually have a web conference, you can take it outside and do it on your own desktop. That would really make your experience much better, because having audio and video platforms play out at a VDI, you're going to probably have some sync issues or just some delays. So again, you use the VDI for just things that you have to access for internal resources. Other than that, anything that you previous to COVID that you can access off-prem without VPN or VDI, you can continue to use that. With that, upcoming improvements on the VDI, believe it or not, the OneDrive integration was a big one. It seemingly was easy, but it wasn't. So this was a big kind of win for us. For those of you that haven't been using your OneDrive and instead have been perhaps using a USB drive or an external drive that you've been kind of carrying back and forth to move your file shares, think of OneDrive as a cloud version of that USB storage. And the great thing about it is, again, like Victor mentioned, you have 1 terabyte worth of space, which is a lot. You can access your OneDrive on-prem or off-prem, right? And that way you don't have to keep track of perhaps losing the device, and have that data be compromised or lost. So definitely, if you haven't been using your OneDrive, you should be, I would have, highly suggest that you use it. Again, only you have access to your OneDrive, and it's secure, much more secure. Other than that, there's no huge programs or access that's been requested. We provided most of what you see on here in terms of the programs and shortcuts that we have, all based on feedback from you all, either directly to us, to the help desk, through your TSS teams. We really want to continue to improve this experience. So as you continue to use it, what the improvements are to come really are fed by your input and by your feedback. So please continue to do that. Primarily probably through TSS or the help desk would be the best route. So that leads into how and whom you should get support from. Again, I think if you're at a college campus, you should be very familiar with your TSS teams. They would be best to kind of help you translate what you need into kind of technical language for us to kind of help improve the platform. Other than that, I know a lot of us are off-prem, emailing helpdesk@rccd.edu is another resource. And certainly Lenny, myself, and Victor are available if you have questions specific to this webinar. Now, I would like to get to the questions. Today's a light day. We don't have a lot of questions. Somebody asked, how do you use shortcut keys in the VDI? Think of it as, this is another web browser. So whatever you can do to copy and paste between web browsers, you should be able to Control C and Control V. Let me try. I'm going to come to, let's see, open a Word document. Let me open Notepad on my regular workstation. Let's see, copy. I do a Control C to copy, and I come to the VDI window with Word. Yeah, I should be able to copy and paste. Control Tab, Alt Tab, that's probably not going to work very well because it's going to be tied to your computer here. Yeah, you can't do it from inside. Somebody would like to go over printing one more time? Sure. I'm not going to save this. So if we open, let's open something different. Let's open the same thing. Let's open SARS anywhere. Again, it's just printing from a browser, right? So within this browser, within Chrome, this is actually just printing off of the browser, not within the SARS application. You click on the 3 dots and go to print. It should default to Microsoft Print to PDF. And when you click on print, and you can choose, all your normal printer options, color, black and white. When you choose print, instead of actually printing to a physical printer with paper, it's actually just going to produce a PDF file. And if you have a home printer and you want to print to it, you can save it to a PDF to your OneDrive, right? And from home, you can open a browser to OneDrive, and then now you can actually print to a physical piece of paper if you like. So from here, you can either choose your OneDrive, because if you want to print once you get home, I have lots of files in here in my OneDrive. So we'll just call it SARS to PDF. If I go back to my file share and I go back into OneDrive, I now see the SARS print to PDF. And when I open it, it should look like what I printed. And the reason we choose Microsoft Print to PDF is so you don't have to authenticate using the Save as PDF. That'll trigger you to have to log into Adobe. Is there any way to access Query Builder? That's more specific. Let me contact you directly offline. Saving documents and moving. Let me show you something with, because Victor has sent me the couple of attachments. So let me show you if you wanted to save attachments to your OneDrive, how to do that. I'm gonna go to, let me repeat that. So if you go to go.rccd.edu, that's the district's single sign-on portal where we try to put a lot of common applications in there. So you'll see in here, you have 25 live, eTreat, Concur, but I'm gonna go to my Outlook Mail. Say no to stay signed on. And I can see the email that Victor sent me with the 2 attachments. Oops, didn't mean to click on that. If I expand this, I'll see the 2. So from here, if you click on the little down arrow on the file, it'll give you an option to save to OneDrive. I'm going to choose that for that file, and I'm also going to save to OneDrive here as well. So where did it go? You might be wondering. If you go back to your file share folder on the VDI desktop and go into your OneDrive, there's an attachments folder. It's automatically created in your OneDrive. When you go into attachments, we'll see that the 2 VDI demonstration files that I chose to save to OneDrive are now in my OneDrive, which you can also access from home. That makes sense. And from here, you can, print it out or reattach it to send to somebody else. That's all the question we have today. I know there's some specific questions about colleague, and I'll find someone to help you with that offline because I'm not a colleague expert, but I'm sure we have a solution. Any other questions? All right. So this is our last webinar. So what we're looking to do is we did record this webinar. So we'll be converting that and post it onto YouTube. So we will follow up with an email and send you a link to the webinar. And also we have a living document of a training guide that I'm sure you received as part of the email letting you know that you now have VDI access. And after this training, we're going to go ahead and continue to update that living document. Let me find it for you so you can see it. So this is the living document, a training guide that we have. I'm going to update it after the end of today because we do have some OneDrive updates to this and how to print a PDF. So look for that in the follow-up email. So, anything that we've covered during the webinar today, it will be in this living document for you to reference. And to summarize everything, I just want to make sure that we, um, that the reason that we're doing this is to kind of keep our network secure, right? Unfortunately, the world is under distress, and there's a lot of, unfortunately, bad cyber actors out there trying to take advantage of everybody working from home and trying to infiltrate networks. So really the push to have this VDI solution is really to protect our network so we can all have a platform to continue to work. So that's the reason why. I know, the solution is imperfect, and, there's some hardship in having to transition to working remotely, but know that we do take your feedback and we do try to address all your questions and trying to fine tune our new reality for now. So just know that we're doing our best and we're taking your feedback. Um, yeah, with that in mind, I don't see any further questions. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you to Victor and Lenny, who, did an awesome job presenting, and look for the email, and we'll continue to touch base, and looking forward to your feedback. Thank you all very much.